Welcome to the Crossroad. This is the Crossroad where we talk about real life issues, we talk about real situations, we talk about real things. Now, this is the Crossroad where we talk about life, we talk about real things, we talk about real issues, where life is at its best. And I'm welcoming you to this beautiful episode today as we talk about different levels of communication in relationships. Yes, we have been covering the topic of relationships, and if you have not caught up, you better catch up with us. Check the other videos so that you can actually be able to. And today we are talking about the different levels of communication. There are 5 different levels of communication, and I'm hoping you'll be able to catch up with us as we actually engage in different and beautiful aspects of this communication thing. Now, the first level of communication, which is very interesting, and a lot of couples are in this, a lot of people are in this, is what I call the small talk. It's called the pep talk. The pep talk basically is where we say the small little things, we talk about, it's like business conversation. Morning, how are you? Fine. You give one word answer, how's your day? Okay. You give one word answer, and then you don't know what to do. You find it's very shallow, very uncomfortable. But there are couples who are there. You come back home in the evening or maybe during the day, you make a phone call. How are you? I'm fine. Okay. How are the kids? They're okay. How is everybody else? Fine. I mean, you give one word answer. There is nothing to engage. It is very uncomfortable. You almost feel like you are a prisoner in that conversation and in that relationship. And couples struggle with this because they don't know what to do beyond that, just the one word answer. And it's always frustrating, particularly if the other one is a sanguine and likes talking and wants to express himself a little more and wants to say a lot of things, but they don't know where to go from that beautiful beginning. That, yes, hi, how are you? I'm fine. Okay, good to see you too. Okay, yeah, you're okay again? It's very embarrassing, very discouraging, very disappointing, very annoying, but it happens in relationships. Now, if you are at that level, there is a problem. There is a problem. That's this kind of thing you're doing when you're meeting someone for the very first time. You don't know each other, but you've been in a relationship for a while and you're talking like that. There is a serious problem, because then that leads you to the next level of conversation, which I call the factual conversation, the factual talk. Now, in the factual talk, things seem to be, you're just stating facts. Okay, hi, how are you? I'm fine. That's a fact. I am fine. Oh, how was your day? Okay. Fact? Yes. Oh, well, the weather is great today. Yes, it's a fact. You can't change that. Oh, the president of this country is still Uhuru. Yes, that's a fact. I mean, you don't know where else to go. You as a parent, the kids are okay. They are fine. Yes, they've eaten. That's okay. That's fine. I mean, basically, you state facts, and as a result of that, you don't know where to go after the facts. And sometimes the questions you ask is just to keep the conversation going. How's your dad? He's okay. How's mom? He's fine. Have you ever met some people in town and then they ask you, oh, you are in town? It's like, if you didn't answer that question, would you be wrong? Are you in town? I see you. Are you in town? And it's like, if you say no, you'll be looking awkward. Yes, but the truth is, it's a factual talk. It's a factual conversation, and it usually can be very annoying, and because you don't know what else to say, so the answer would be yes or no or yeah, and and it's awkward, very awkward. So the question then is, what do you do if you're in a relationship that you are still talking at factual level, where things basically are, yes, sometimes parents are terrible with that. How are you guys? Fine. You okay? Yes. Have you eaten? Yeah. Did you do your homework? Yes. Did you pass exams? No. And then that's it. Beyond that, you don't know what else to say. The problem with that kind of a conversation is that it actually does not lead to anything else. So sometimes it's recommended that you ask open-ended questions where someone has to explain their answers. The problem is that when you are in a tight and a tense relationship, you do not even want an open-ended conversation, because it puts you in an awkward position where you are forced to talk and you didn't want to talk. Okay, so you are comfortable with the closed-ended conversation. You okay? Yes. You had a good day? Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. How are you again? I mean, that's how awkward that conversation is. Very, very awkward moment. And it's very dangerous for a relationship. Now, if you're still at that level and you've been courting, you've been in a relationship, you've been married, you've got someone, you're planning to get married in the next few weeks or so, you're in trouble, real serious trouble, because it basically means you do not know the person you're talking to, you do not the person you are engaging in the rest of your life as you go. Now we go to the third level of communication in relationship, the third level of talk. Now, this is the beginning of getting into intimacy. This is the beginning of getting to enjoy the relationship. This is the beginning of beginning to actually enjoy that relationship. And this is what I call the ideas and opinion talk. The ideas and opinion talk. This is where you begin to express your thoughts. You begin to explain that which you're thinking. You can start by talking about, I think we should do this. And it's like, no, I don't think so. It's not a good idea, because you're beginning to express ideas and your opinion and your thoughts are beginning to become clear. It's like, so how was your day? My day was great, by the way. I enjoyed that. And you look awesome. He said, really? The dress looks nice on you. Or I like the way you've done your hair. Like the way. So feelings are beginning to come into it. And ideas are beginning to be expressed. So this is the beginning of intimacy, because you are now beginning to put your feelings, your emotions, your ideas into it. But for now, we still haven't gone in it yet, because we are still telling you what I think, what you think, what the thoughts I'm going through, the things I'm not so sure about. I'm beginning to explain them and express them, but I'm still not so sure to what level I can go. Now, there are couples who are at this level, and because they are at this level, sometimes it is so hard to explain to your spouse what it is you're thinking, and because you fear you will hurt them, you fear they will react badly, you fear they may not say the right thing, you fear they will respond negatively, and so your thoughts are reserved to an extent. And sometimes I know of couples been married for a long time, but find it so hard to actually say what it is they want to say. Okay, so we talked about helicopter landing, and we talked about the jumbo jetting, and sometimes we use the jumbo jet as a way of trying to get to the point. The problem is that sometimes someone begins to see where you are going and cuts you short and is like, ooh, that's an aborted landing. So you can guess what happens when an aeroplane has an aborted landing. It's called a crash. You actually end up crashing. Now, not the new generation crash, because the new generation, my crash is a different story compared to the crash of a plane crashing. Okay, but basically it heads to the same direction. You landed on someone, like them, blah blah blah. Unfortunately, it might not always end up right. Okay, now that leads me to the fourth level of communication and conversation, and this is what I call the feelings and the emotions talk. The feelings and the emotions talk. What exactly does this mean? This means I'm beginning to express my feelings. I'm beginning to tell you the things I like. I'm beginning to tell you the things I don't like. I begin to tell you the things I'm comfortable with. I begin to explain myself a little bit deeper. I begin to react positive or negatively to issues. I begin to tell you that, yes, this is what my opinion is. Sweetheart, I think we should not do this because it makes me uncomfortable. He said, why are you uncomfortable? It's because whenever 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because there are people who find it so hard to express their feelings. Now, men have been accused for not being emotional and not expressing their feelings. The thing is, we just don't express it the way you do. And sometimes we have been betrayed when we express them. So what we do, we reserve it, because you don't want to be reminded that you cried the other day when you watched a movie. You watched a movie and you cried. It's like, oh, daddy cries, or my husband cries when he watches the movie. But I love to see him cry. The problem is, the day you want him to be strong for you and is the one crying, you'll be uncomfortable. So the problem we need to deal with is, we need to be able to express our emotions and feelings. We need to be able to bring them out. We need to say when we're annoyed. We need to be able to show when we are angry. We need to be able to let it come out well, manageably, so that it does not offend the other or make the other uncomfortable or make the other feel unappreciated in one way or another. Now, it is also here that then we also need to express our happiness. Like, when you've done something so nice for me and I'm happy about it, then I should say it, But if I don't say it, it basically means I do not know how to express what I feel. So it's important that we do what? That we express our feelings, express our emotions, and bring it out. And in so doing, it makes me feel comfortable that I can trust you with my vulnerability. Now, you remember the Bible tells us in Genesis chapter 2, and it's a very interesting topic. The Bible says that husband and wife were both naked, but they were not ashamed. They were not ashamed. Now, what exactly does that nakedness mean and not being ashamed? It means I must be willing to be vulnerable before you. I must be willing to share with you my worst feelings, my worst mistakes. I can be able to tell you what I go through and not feel embarrassed or not feel that I will be betrayed. And you remember when we talked about the different boundaries, and I said in the boardroom is where you can be able to talk about things that you go through and not be judged or not feel that it will be used against you. Therefore, it is a safe place for both of us where we can discuss personal issues. So that is where that conversation needs to be, where we can verbalize our feelings, our emotions, our frustrations and our angers, our happiness, our joys, and the things we go through, and we can be able to trust that I will tell you. Like, I'll give you a simple illustration. Now, you need your wife to reach the point where she can trust you with her mood swings, because that's one thing women struggle with, because it's not something like she feels like, I feel like today being moody. No, you don't feel like it. It just happens. It's something beyond yourself. It's your hormones just suddenly acting up. And when they do, you want to know that you are not sick. Now, men don't understand that until they have engaged this conversation. We don't understand that you can just be there and you don't look fine and you are normal. I mean, are you okay? Yes, I'm fine. No, you're not okay. I am fine. He said, no, you are happy, now you're moody. Are you okay? He said, I am okay. Now, gentlemen, being moody, having mood swings, is not a sign of being sick. It's just a moment, it's a phase, it will come and go. And some men will start thinking, oh, no, it's that time of the month. No, it doesn't have to be that time of the month. It's a hormonal thing. And the hormonal imbalance inside that somebody works out. And you need to understand that that is part of who she is. But she needs to reach that space where she can tell you that I'm okay, I'll be fine. I'll be okay. And she's going to be fine. And if she does not like the jokes, don't crack them at that moment. If she doesn't like certain things, just don't do them. Just like when they are expecting. Being pregnant is not an illness. It's a normal process of going through birth and a conception, birth and whatever. The thing is this: when your wife is expecting, she is not sick. She's just normal. Only that she's carrying another human being in her body. Now her hormones could have, one day she would feel like eating pizza, and it's just a feeling. It will come. Tomorrow you buy pizza, it's like, what's wrong with you? Can't you buy something else? And she's still fine, by the way. So we need you to understand that. And that is part of this process of communication. Because if you get it wrong, you will not get it right. Did I say that correct? And I hope you got it right. Okay? If you don't get it right, you got it wrong. And if you don't get it right, you get it wrong. And just get it right. Okay? Now, the last level of communication and conversation in relationship is what I call the deep, insightful, intimate talk. The deep, insightful, intimate talk. What exactly do I mean? Now, this is deep. Young people talk about, man, that was deep. That was deep. Yes, it is deep. Now, how deep is it? It's so deep, it actually talks about things that words don't express. Sometimes it reaches a point where it's nonverbal. Sometimes it reaches a point where you don't have to say it. You can look at two people who love each other, and the look on their eyes and their faces can tell you there's a connection between those two. That is deep. It's deep. You can look at people and the smile on their faces tells you those two people know each other. So that's why sometimes it's easy to tell when someone is cheating, because they're trying to pretend that I don't know the person you're talking about, but away from everybody's looking, you can tell there is a story behind the story. So it's important that you understand that this is very personal. It is personal in terms of the two getting personal with each other. Number two, it is very deep. Sometimes it is non-verbal. It expresses things word cannot say. And sometimes the words mean something more than just what they basic mean. I'll give you an example. You can have what you call pet names for each other. You can have, and you can hear someone calling his wife a pet name, which to you might be like, really? Yes, you can call, you can. I know of a friend of mine who used to call his wife chicken wings. Why? That's his favorite food, and he loved that so much to the point that every time they were together, not in public, he would, hi, my chicken wings. And the wife just knew, today we have to do something, a special meal, we're going to spend a quality time together. And for that was their language, you know. And every couple needs that. Every couple needs that. You need to have a language only the two of you understand. You need to get to the point where when you begin to speak certain terminologies and certain phrases, only the two of you understand, that everybody else, children will be in the house, you want to speak something beyond them. Your kids could be teenagers, your kids could be adults, but they don't have to understand your language. So you need to go deeper than words. You need to go deeper. Now, when you get to that point, friends, you are actually have reached a point in a relationship where your communication is deeper, your communication is intimate, your communication comes through. Now, when you have gotten to that point, you are growing in your relationship. You are enjoying it. Actually, it's so beautiful because you can say things that others don't understand. The two of you do. The two of you do. And it's beautiful. I'm trying to imagine Adam and God talking. You know, in every day they would be walking in the cool of the day in the evening, and he's like, so what's up, boy? And he's like, yeah, Dad, I've been naming all the animals. Today I saw a chimpanzee, I saw a wata. By the way, what were you thinking doing about it? Come on, it's okay, my son. That's it. You know, that's where now the word my son is not just because I gave birth to you, but it's like, it's so personal. You know, there are places where the name mom, it does not just mean the mother of my children or my wife. A couple can use it, and when the wife hears the husband use the term mom at this point, he is not talking about, he's not just saying something. There's something he is saying that the wife understands and said, yeah, whenever he calls me that, I know there's some story. Of course, some of us also know that when your husband maybe calls you by your name, there's trouble in the house. Yes. Yeah, we also know that. So the question then is this: how do you develop the different levels of conversation? It is a learning process. You must be deliberate, you must be consistent, you must be intentional. You must choose to do it. You don't do it by accident. It must be deliberate, you must be intentional, you must be consistent. And that consistency grows. Someone said that consistency wears out resistance. When you're consistent, it wears out resistance. And the more you do it, the more you find it's easy to do it. And the more you find it easy to do it, the more you practice it. And so practice. Like they say, makes perfect, but only when you're doing the right thing. It doesn't make perfect when you're doing the wrong thing. Well, you become perfect in doing the wrong thing, so you're still wrong. But when you do the right thing, it becomes beautiful. And I pray for every couple that you may enjoy your journey in your relationship. Make it beautiful. Make it count. Make every day count. That is why we are meeting at the Crossroad, where real people meet real issues and we experience real life and real love. God bless you and have a lovely day. This is John Mark saying, have a lovely, wonderful relationship. Enjoy your communication in your marriage. God bless you.